हेलो गाइस, वेलकम टू द कोड कल्चर। तो आज हम देखने जा रहे हैं नेक्स्ट पैटर्न इज फॉर व्हाट? हॉलो स्क्वायर स्टार पैटर्न। ओके, फर्स्ट लेक्चर में हमने देखा स्टार पैटर्न कैसे प्रिंट करना है। आज हम देखेंगे हॉलो स्क्वायर स्टार पैटर्न कैसे प्रिंट करना है। ओके, सो विल स्टार्ट विथ दिस टाइप ऑफ पैटर्न। व्हाट इज दिस? हाउ मेनी नंबर ऑफ रोज आर देयर? वी हैव, suppose assume that 5 number of rows are there. Okay, so square means what? Number of rows and number of columns are same. So 5 rows means how many columns we require? 5 columns. Okay, so always remember the shape of any square pattern is number of rows and number of column is same. Okay, so for first for loop, our first for loop is always for number of rows. So the limit of first for loop is 1 to 5. 5 is nothing but our n value, that we can take any value instead of n. Next, what is the range of column? Column for loop 1 to n, that is the same as for loop of the number of rows. Now what we are doing here is first create a pattern, okay, with n rows and n columns. Okay, same rows and same columns. For that, first we'll take input from user. Okay, if the value of n is 5, then we'll get this answer. अगर n का वैल्यू अगर 10 रहेगा तो we'll get 10 rows 10 columns. Okay, hollow square of 10 rows and 10 columns. अगर n का वैल्यू 8 रहेगा तो we'll get hollow square of 8 rows and 8 columns. Okay, now so always remember first for loop is always for number of rows. Okay, we'll take first for loop for I in range. What is the range of first for loop? 1 to n, that is 1 comma n plus 1. So this for loop will repeat n times because we have n number of rows. Outer for loop is always for number of rows. Next, inner for loop, we are taking nested for loop here. The inner for loop is always for number of columns. How many columns are there? 5. 5 is nothing but n columns we have. Okay, so take another for loop. Okay, the limit of inner for loop is also same, that is 1 to n plus 1. It means that for I value 1 will repeat the inner for loop 5 times. Okay, if I print star here, okay, we'll get star pattern. But what I require here is star pattern, square pattern of star with hollow square. Okay, means so two things we are printing here. One is star and another is space. Okay, so at particular condition, look this diagram carefully. For this row, what is this row? First row. For this row, what is the value of I? Value of I is 1. Okay, so for each star we have common thing, that is value of I is always 1. What it? Similarly, this for this star the value of I is always 5 is nothing but n, because we are taking pattern for n number of rows. So always this first line is I equals to 1, equation of first line is I equals to 1, and equation of last line is I equals to n. Similarly, the equation of first column, that is this first column, the equation of this stars is, what is the value, what is the common value in this column? The j, because this is nothing but j and this is I, because we are taking I as outer for loop, j as inner for loop. So for this we have j value common, that is always equals to 1. Okay, similarly for this column always j value is n. Okay, okay, you know if else very well. Put all these equations here in the if. Okay, all the equations means all the conditions. How many equations we have? 4 equations, so we'll get 4 conditions. So just first equation is I equals to 1. So while writing condition I am taking relational operator, that is I equals to 1, or next is I equals to n, or j equals to 1, or j equals to n. Okay, so by using this 4 equation we can print star. After that, within this if, just print star. Next, this is about if, we are printing star in the if. What about else? I am printing space, because all the remaining part, in all the remaining conditions we have to print space. So just print space and end function string, empty string. Next, take another print just for new line as similar to the previous one. Okay, so by using this we can print hollow sphere. Okay, this is all about the basic concepts to print alphabets. So based on this pattern we can print different alphabets, but we have to take more conditions like diagonals and all these plus symbols. Like you have to take this line, this line, this line. So we'll see in the next lecture that all the part. Okay, so this is the just basic hollow sphere. Okay, so we'll execute the same on the Google. Okay, then we'll see. Okay, we'll execute the same program. Okay, that is hollow square star pattern. Okay, first we have n variable. We are taking value for n through the integer. After that we have first for loop, which is always for number of rows. Second for loop is for number of columns. After that, take the conditions. How many conditions we have? Four conditions. That is I equals to 1, I equals to n, j equals to 1, and j equals to n. Okay, after writing that condition, I am printing star there. Okay, just by writing print star and end function. After that, in the else part we have remaining thing, that is space. Okay, so after space, just print here for the new value, for the new line. Okay, we'll execute the same, just writing n 9 value here. So we'll get a square, hollow square with 9 rows and 9 columns. Okay, so we can print the same pattern by using, instead of star we can directly write I value also. Okay, execute the same, we get this type of pattern. Okay, we can just change by using j also. Okay, we'll get this now. Okay, so this is all about the hollow square star pattern. Okay,